America makes me too angry right now, even fearful at times. I know I'm not the only person to check the exits when you go to a public place in case there's a mass shooting. I get desensitized by walking or driving by a homeless encampment. Fear of airplane crashes are at an all-time high from decades of neglect and poor infrastructure. Women's rights are being eroded. Queer, trans rights, don't even get me started. The environment, fuck!
It starts with something you can't quite explain, a feeling that something is shifting, quietly, beneath the surface of normal life. The neighborhoods look the same, the flags still wave, but the people, they're leaving. Streets that once echoed with laughter now stand half empty. Houses with "for sale" signs stay that way for months. You can drive through towns that feel like they've been forgotten by time itself. No disaster struck, no war began, yet something deep inside America is unraveling. Why are millions of people walking away from the places they once called home? What is happening to the dream that was supposed to last forever? Before we uncover the truth behind this silent exodus, make sure to subscribe, because what you're about to see isn't just another story about migration. It's a story about what happens when a nation starts to lose faith in itself.
And listen, one expat said, "I didn't leave America because I hated it. I left it because it was killing me." So here's your final word. Do not wait until it's too late. If you've been feeling trapped by the endless stress, grind of American life, you're not imagining it. I promise you, this is reality. The data shows that what you're feeling is real. The data shows that staying may be cutting your very life short.
It starts with something you can't quite explain, a strange emptiness in places that once felt alive. The coffee shop you passed every morning now has a closed sign on the door. The school down the street doesn't echo with laughter anymore. And when you walk through the parking lot of a once busy supermarket, you can almost feel the ghosts of ordinary life, the hum of conversations, the rattle of carts, the smell of groceries and pavement. But now it's gone. Not because of war, not because of disaster, but because people have quietly left. Across America, millions are packing up and disappearing from the places they once called home. From Hawaii's beaches to West Virginia's mountains, from the frozen emptiness of North Dakota to the swamps of Louisiana, people are running, not toward opportunity, but away from exhaustion. This isn't a movement of adventure. It's a migration of surrender. A silent exodus born out of rising prices, fading dreams, and a growing realization that life in many parts of America no longer makes sense. In Hawaii, paradise has turned against its people. The ocean still sparkles, the palm trees still sway, but locals can't afford to live where they were born. The price of a simple home is beyond reach. Rent devours paychecks, and every year more native families sell everything and board planes to the mainland, leaving behind the beauty that betrayed them. The postcard version of Hawaii remains, but the real one, the one filled with families, laughter, and community, is fading away. In West Virginia, the silence is heavier. This was once the beating heart of America's working class, where coal mines roared and towns pulsed with life. But when the mines closed, the noise stopped. Jobs vanished, dreams collapsed, and what was left behind were empty streets, abandoned houses, and faces that look both proud and broken. People here aren't leaving because they want to. They're leaving because staying means slowly disappearing with the town itself. Illinois tells a different story, not of poverty, but of frustration. People here are tired of paying more and getting less. High taxes, broken systems, and a government that seems to crumble from the inside have turned once thriving cities into slow-motion disasters. Families look around and realize that no matter how hard they work, they're still sinking. So they leave, to Indiana, to Texas, to anywhere that feels a little less heavy. Every move is a quiet act of protest, a whisper that says, enough.
When it comes to the American dream, I feel that I lived it, and it's literally the reason that I left. We were in our 3-story townhome. We had the trucks. I was in my big girl corporate 6-figure job. We had the things, and it wasn't a dream. It was more of like a fuzz, really.
Alaska's story is written in the cold. For decades, the promise of oil brought people north, for money, for adventure, for a life untouched by the chaos of the mainland. But now, the oil is drying up, and so is the hope. Winters grow longer, towns grow emptier, and loneliness spreads like frost. Here, the distance isn't just physical, it's emotional. A place once seen as the edge of possibility now feels like the edge of the world. Then there's Connecticut, the picture of old money and quiet wealth. From the outside, it looks untouched by decay, but inside the air feels still. Young people are leaving, drawn to places where rent doesn't consume half their income, and ambition doesn't feel like suffocation. The towns that once defined success are becoming museums, perfectly maintained, beautifully empty. Mississippi's story is gentler but no less haunting. The sunsets are golden, the people kind, but the future feels distant. Wages stay low, hospitals close, and opportunities dry up. What remains is nostalgia, the love for a place that no longer loves you back. Leaving here isn't easy. It feels like abandoning a part of your soul. Louisiana's fight is with nature itself. Floods swallow neighborhoods, hurricanes rip through history, and every year more ground disappears beneath the rising water. It's not just homes being lost, it's memories, its roots, its identity. The people who stay do so with courage, but even courage has a breaking point. Someday, even the bravest may have to leave. North Dakota, once booming with oil dreams, is now quiet again. The rigs are fewer, the paychecks smaller, and the nights longer. The emptiness stretches across the plains, miles of silence broken only by the wind. The loneliness here isn't dramatic, it's slow, creeping, and endless. You can stand in the middle of a town and feel like the last person left. New Jersey was supposed to be the promise of suburban life, comfort, family, stability. But that dream now comes with a price tag too high to bear. Taxes rise, commutes stretch longer, and the peace that once defined the suburbs has turned into exhaustion. People pack up and leave, chasing a version of life that feels lighter, freer, less burdened by the cost of just existing. And then there's Puerto Rico, a paradise that America forgot. Each hurricane, each blackout, each empty promise from the mainland pushes more people away. Planes to Florida and New York fill with families who never thought they'd have to leave. What remains are the echoes of songs, the warmth of culture, and the unbearable weight of being left behind. Every story, every state, every family leaving their home. It all adds up to something bigger. It's not just about economics or climate or politics. It's about faith. Faith in the idea that life can get better, that hard work still matters, that home still means something. And that faith, quietly, is fading. The great American exodus isn't happening in headlines, it's happening in silence, in the moving trucks on the highway, in the empty classrooms, in the neighbors who never say goodbye. It's a collapse disguised as choice. And the question isn't just where people are going. The real question is, what are they leaving behind? Because maybe the real story isn't about population decline at all. Maybe it's about something deeper. A nation that no longer feels like home to the people who built it. A slow unraveling, not marked by explosions, but by departures. A quiet goodbye from a country still pretending everything is fine. Maybe this is how a civilization fades, not with noise, but with distance. Not through destruction, but through departure. People don't storm the gates or burn the flags, they just leave. One family, one town, one generation at a time. They leave behind homes that were never meant to be empty, streets that were never meant to be silent. And what's left is a shell of something that once felt permanent. Maybe this isn't the end of America. Maybe it's just a moment of reckoning, a pause before something new begins. But if the American dream was built on the promise of belonging, then what happens when the people no longer feel at home in the dream itself? If you want to see more stories that uncover the truth behind the silence, make sure to subscribe, because this is only the beginning.